Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaron from Jeranism, back with another live video for you. It is Friday. You know what that means? It means it's time for another Jeranism Friday Lounge. So happy that you're here. It is number 29, if you can believe that. I can't believe it, but it is true. I have verified. I have checked. I looked it up on Google, and it is fact that this is the Jeranism Friday Lounge, number 29. I named it today Actions Speak. For lots of reasons. You know, actions speak louder than words. Let your actions speak. There's just a lot that goes into that statement. And we're going to watch a little video from Larkin Rose here shortly where he will explain exactly what I mean by that. But we've got a small panel, yet a powerful panel nonetheless with me today. We've got Austin Whitsitt from Whitsitt Gets It. Austin, what's up? How are you?
Good, man. How's it going? Glad to be here.
Welcome to the show. Should be fun. No, and it might be a short show. I'm not really sure. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm not feeling at my optimum health. I don't know why that is. I feel like I'm losing my voice. Does it sound like I'm losing my voice? I feel like it's hard.
No,
for
you sound amazing, bro.
Perfect. Oh, then never mind. We're going for 6 hours. We also have joining us Rodrigo Ferrari Nunes. Rodrigo, how are you?
Hello, Jaron. Hello, Austin. How's it going? Doing good. Yeah, it's been a tiring day. Had some issues and having to run around up and down, and at least I biked to town.
Nice. You were saying before the show that you got your water distiller in, so congratulations on becoming a proud father of not just a child this month, but also or that was last month, but also a new water filter, which everyone should get if they haven't already.
Yes, we're very happy that we finally got this because we needed to get it for a while, and it costs a bit of money and it took forever to get here. It was stopped in the customs and whatever. It got here a couple weeks later, and it should, but it's here and it works awesome. And like me, the first run, they told us it says don't drink the first time you do it, so we threw away the first one and it kept it. It just works fantastic. But the gunk that you see in the water is just it's pretty appalling.
Yeah, to say the least. It is pretty gross, and once you realize that all that would have been in your system or it would be in your food if you cook with it. Austin, when you make something that needs water, I don't know, pasta, something like that, do you use distilled water, or do you use spring water, or do you still use faucet water?
I use the distilled water anytime I can now.
Yeah.
I can't unsee what comes out of it.
You can't, huh? No. What I've done is we have one of those machines that sits outside of the grocery stores here. I don't know what the brand name is. I forgot. Glacier, I think. But I looked it up, and they don't have fluoride in there. And we went and picked up a gallon of it and then tested it, and it comes out like, I don't know, I think 1 or 2 or 3 parts per million. So the good thing about that is it's like, okay, so if we ever cook, we use that. So I have a 5-gallon jug that we constantly fill up with that spring water. So I also have a little canister next to the sink. So if I need to wash fruits or vegetables, we use that spring water. But once you see what comes out of the faucet, in fact, the hard thing I still have is washing dishes with it.
Right.
Luckily, it's there's not much on there when you're done, but it's still like, oh god, this water's terrible. I don't want to be washing my dishes with it. But that's one step I still haven't taken. Still washing the dishes with the faucet sink. So,
well, that's a good thing. I need to look into that then, because it's pretty inefficient to just try to use the distilled water for everything. Like you can only make so much of it.
Yeah, I mean it's not too expensive. I think the one that we have here, you can find them for 35 cents a gallon. We found one that's 30 cents a gallon. So it's not bad. It's $1.50 for a 5-gallon jug. That lasts us about a week. And we use it to cook or to wash fruits or vegetables. And so $1.50 a week, I can do that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So it's a 5-gallon jug, and then you can buy one of those little countertop dispensers, and we just throw the thing up on there, and then we fill our pot with that if we're going to make, whatever. Or if I'm going to cook some broccoli or whatever and we need a little water, it's always using the spring water. Yeah, the distilled would have been a little bit expensive. If we kept doing that at the beginning, then we realized, okay, this is just too hard. We can't make enough water to do that. So just an
Right,
idea.
'cause it takes like 5 hours, right? So
Yeah.
you can only do so much.
Right. And as much as I drink and as much as the wife drinks, especially now being pregnant and everything, it's like that we need all we can get for drinking. So anyway, everyone, that's the update for the distilled watery for now. It is a crazy time. Obviously, hopefully yesterday you saw the show. I thought it was good. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch it. Either one of you see it. We did a Flat Earth FAQ with a special guest, Research Royal Rife. I called him Triple R. He's a guy who did a documentary on Flat Earth back in I want to say it was 2016, and has been lurking in the shadows ever since. I see him in a couple Skype groups, and that was his channel name. Now, he can't post videos on that channel anymore. He lost the YouTube channel or lost access to it, so it just sits there with like 2 videos on it. But I've been trying to get him to make some more videos. But he came on with me, and we did about almost a 4-hour show. So it was good. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it was yesterday. It was Flat Earth FAQ with special guest Research Royal Rife. And just to let everybody know, if they want a copy of that FAQ, just for whatever reason, either to read or to maybe they want to make their own, or they want to update one and maybe create a video where it's a hour-long video where they try and hit 100 of the questions or something, you can go to bit.ly/FEFAQ. Again, bit.ly/FEFAQ, and you can pick up that document. It's got some 70 questions and answers on there, but pretty good. We were able to get through a lot of them, and we kind of skipped through and jumped around yesterday, but we did a pretty good job of mowing through them as best as we could, so hopefully people enjoyed that show. I thought it was pretty good. Other things you may have missed this week, Saturday, so what was that, the day after our last lounge, we had the watch party for the SpaceX launch. Did you guys get a chance to check out the SpaceX stuff?
Yeah, I saw some of it. I was actually busy Saturday, but I saw
Lucky
a
you,
few
man.
things. It was just hysterical, man. It's just like it's about to land. Oh, can't see it. Like it's like a movie. It's
Man,
like a joke at
always.
this point.
It is, and I had people ask, "Are you going to make a video about it?" It's like I don't even. What would I say? To me, I've never liked to do videos that are like, okay, I've already done that, but I could just watch it and laugh. I mean, here it is on the screen. Oh, you guys can't see the screen. Huh? I should share my screen with you. 1 second. Share screen. Start sharing. Okay, now you guys can see what I'm doing. But I mean, this is just hilarious to me. I mean, like, why would you not be able to see stars in this footage? I mean, it's space. I mean, the guys talk about, there's these millions of pinpoints and the stars are everywhere. You can see galaxies. And this is, we're supposed to believe this footage. It's just so ridiculous to me. I mean, you have to remember there's supposed to be little people in here. Little people, moving around, and I can't, and they just have different views of it and different camera angles, and I don't know who's buying this, but it ain't me. That much I can tell you right now. There we go. This is all supposed to be live. I don't know how they flip from that to that. Now again, somebody's going, they just zoomed in. Well, great. Then you'll believe anything. So they'll believe this docking. And look at this thing. It's just like. I think it's so ridiculously just bad and could be done either in a 3D landscape, in any kind of a miniature model. There's so many ways to fake it, it's not even worth exploring.
That looks like a 3D model. It looks like it's not even a maquette or a scale model like they used to do in the 60s.
It's so bad.
So,
It's so bad. So, people are like, well, you make a video. I'm like, yeah, I could just talk about it forever and just laugh at it, as I've done many times before. But I don't know what else you can really say. I mean, people want to believe in space so bad.
Get this.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on. This is connecting to the ISS. This is supposed to be the ISS. And I thought I had the other video up. The other video where it shows the ISS is hilarious, too. Let me see if I have it here. And of course, one of the things, is this the C-SPAN one? Oh, yeah, here we go. I noticed that or at least most of these channels, they use like fake thumbnails. That's another thing I hate, right? So they show the thing connecting to the ISS, and it's like, wow, where's that video footage? I've never seen that. Well, you go looking for it, there's no such thing. in their entire video. So then you realize, oh, they just faked the thumbnail. It's like, is the entire operation so bad that you couldn't find one image that you could use as a thumbnail? And the answer is no. It is that bad. It is that bad. It's so crap that they can't even pick a thumbnail from any of this footage. So they have to fake the thumbnail. They have to basically use some digitally faked picture. I mean, I'd have to show you, and I'm trying to see if I can. It was on a different
It's
channel.
interesting because they, you know, a lot of people are expecting things to look so amazing that you wouldn't be able to tell it's fake.
Yeah,
But-
I'm trying to see if I can find. Okay, so this is CNET highlights. Let's see if I can find it down here under uploads. Hopefully, you guys can see the screen good enough. Should be fine. Yeah, can you see this over here? Shoot, I don't think people can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to this browser instead. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. So, I mean, this image here, when I saw that, I'm like, well, I haven't seen that view. Like, of this thing coming in and connecting with the Docker. I was like, oh, I want to see that view. So you want, there's no such thing. It's just fake.
Right.
It's just completely a fake image. And I was like, so that's how bad this entire thing is. And you can click on it yourself. You can go there and watch it all yourself. There's nothing that was completely fake. There's nothing. And it's so funny. Somebody could say, well, Jaron, that doesn't mean the whole thing's fake. And I get it. I get it. You don't get what I'm saying. You don't get what I'm saying. It's like they can't even find from and this is a 4-hour and 24-minute live stream, and they couldn't find a good enough thumbnail that they had to just fake it. Oh man. And here's this thing flying around. If you just watch this thing, I mean, why wouldn't you be able to see stars? I think it's so stupid that anybody would believe this stuff, and it's just because they've backed themselves into a corner. They could never show stars now because a lot of astronauts have said you can't see them, including Neil Armstrong, including Buzz Aldrin, including Leroy
But
Chiao.
not Massimino and not Pettit.
That's the problem. No, they can see millions of pinpoints. They can see galaxies and the zodiacal lights, and and I didn't say that with enough.
Magellanic Clouds.
Right, Magellanic Clouds.
It's very hard to say it the way Pettit does. You have to be retarded.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. If you see a bunch of stars, that really leaves them open, pretty vulnerable, because we could go look and see where it's supposed to be, where the stars are relative to the imagery, and where it should be on the Earth, and they'd get busted real quick.
Yeah. This is just hilarious. I mean, I don't know what this is supposed to be. And if anybody's wondering, this is on play. It's not like this is like I just pause it on that screen. That's this thing flying towards you. It never seems to actually get any closer. You know, you kind of skip. Okay, there we go. But then they have this other view of the ISS here. Watch this.
It's funny the comments they have on the coolest thing ever, like people saying.
Oh, it's got to be just all fake. Just all, look, space is flat. Oh, that's pretty good. I don't know what these guys are doing with their little consoles. Again, it's so funny that people believe. I don't know if this is supposed to be a real screen here, like this view with the ISS. So so this is the craft, right? And it's flying towards this. But if you watch it, nothing's happening. It's not getting closer. Shouldn't this craft be approaching this one? It's just sitting
So
there.
the view from the left, how's that taken?
It must be from this, is what they're saying. So if this thing is flying towards this thing, then it's got a camera on it that's showing us this, but this thing's not getting any closer. And then I was like, okay, well, show me when it gets close to it, but it never does. Here's the view again. Okay, here's this view. So
Imagine the design of a spaceship in an airplane, right? You have all kinds of electronics. It can fly itself. It can land itself. But you still look outside and know where you are. But look at this thing. Who came up with this? Basically, all you have is the simulation monitors with the super sketchy graphics. Like, it looks like something from the 80s that's in the center of the screen there. And nothing, no window. And actually, when they were going up and they were giving a tour of the ship, there was one point where the sun was in one window but not on the other one. It was completely dark.
I saw
and
that
then
too.
they bring their camera into it, see, and like, oh, we're over Newfoundland now. And then they bring the camera, and all you see is the reflection of the wind. You see nothing from the outside.
And I'm confused. I keep watching this. Like, okay, am I wrong? Or is it getting closer? But let's just look at the view. And I could be way wrong. I'm just watching it. Like, this is just such crap. I don't know anybody believes. But, like, you can see that these solar panels are never quite touching the edge of the screen. So you'd think as you get closer, they would eventually touch the edge of the screen. But it's like the more I keep seeing it, the more I'm just like, no, that's the same. It's like the same view. They're just not touching the screen. See these ones here? It's like it's never getting closer. But again, even if you went here, you're like, okay, well now it's closer. It's like I guess it's flying towards this craft. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it is getting closer. But then it stops showing it completely. They just go to this mode, which is I don't know what you want to call this. Just video. It's worse than video game mode. And then the camera goes back to this one, and we never see the other ISS view, which I think would be pretty cool to see, but we don't see it. And again, the whole graphic that they show was fake. Maybe they could have showed this one, but it was just so crappy. They're like, we can't show that. We got to fake some graphic.
It looks like the lighting from the prop they have in the foreground does not match the lighting from the thing in the background even. Right, it's just so sloppily made, and of course they don't show you any of the context. They don't move the camera around. They don't show you where the Earth is. They don't show the sun. They don't show anything.
No, the Earth's not important in this shot. Yeah, they don't need the Earth in it. It's just so bad. I can't stand it. And the fact that I used to spend so much time watching it bothers me too, because even these screens. These are the screens that these guys, the important guys at Mission Control, are, got this fake picture. Got this fake picture, and that's it. And I guess that's all you need to run it. I don't know. Such crap to me. And then they've got the guys.
It's a model set. It came up at the time of the Apollo missions, right? And they just updated it slightly. And it's like a kind of thing you see in Epcot Center. It's a simulation. I don't know why do you think people are so hypnotized by this? Because I get people that I've explained things over and over 100 times that turn to me and say, "Oh, they're launching a rocket. What do you have to say about that?" Like, "Oh, now they're launching." As if that kind of, it's kind of like the people that see the Tesla car into space and say, "Hey, flat earthers, take that. Here's your curvature."
Yeah. Oh, and then I saw article after article. I don't know if you guys saw it. That flat earthers embarrassed by the SpaceX launch. Flat earthers are attacked on social media after the successful launch of the SpaceX. I was like, I wasn't embarrassed. Yeah, it's just so stupid. Like, and it's such a funny thing. That's the article, right? And yet, there's not one flat earther in the whole world who was embarrassed by the SpaceX launch. So how do you call
anything that's the other way around, right?
Right. How do you call that media? I don't understand how you can just make a blanket false statement. Just flat earthers embarrassed by the space. Well, who? Show me one. Show me one flat earther that said, "Oh, everything was good, and now I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed today because of the SpaceX launch." You won't find one.
Dude, the whole thing looks stupid. It's 2020, and it looks stupid. So that works for our stance. 2020, dude, it should look incredible. Should be no breaks, should be live time, crispy 4K, all kinds of angles. They should be FaceTiming us from space. So
right, absolutely, yeah.
But they do have new space jammies. I like these. These are cute space jammies. I'm gonna try and get some of those. I don't know how much they'd be, but my guess would be they're like $13 million if you actually looked into it.
Yeah, dude, seriously, that's what they do.
They would be $13 million jammies. They'd be like, that's what they'd tell us. You have no idea how expensive these jammies are, and then when you look at the price that it costs to take them up to space, and everything is just $13 million. That's how much everything is, I guess, in space. So I want to see if anybody's got these.
I think some people have caught here evidence of cables as well, them adjusting the cables and touching them. Some of these.
Yeah, I saw some of that video, and that's the kind of thing where I'm just like, at this point, I don't know why I would watch for all that. Yeah, you could watch and find, oh yeah, there's evidence of it, evidence of it, but it's there all the time. They just fake it in many different ways. That's how I look at it. So, all right, that's basically what happened with SpaceX. We did a show on Rose 777's channel, so if people want to check that out, you can do that. One thing I wanted to mention, because I know that it's going to be happening here in a minute, and maybe some people will want to leave, and that's okay with me. I don't mind. But there's going to be a video on YouTube. I think it's releasing like numerous places. I think Globebusters has it, Spacebusters has it, Kaufman's channel has it, maybe Amanda Vollmer's channel has it. So it's called Hippocratic Hypocrisy. It is the latest video, a film by Dr. Andrew Kaufman and Spacebusters about how medicine was hijacked and turned into a sickness for profit industry, and it premieres in just 5 minutes. I have absolutely no issue. If you want to leave right now, head over to Globebusters. Watch the premiere. I heard it's groundbreaking. I hear it's amazing. I haven't seen it myself yet, but I think Bob already saw it. That's how he has it up for the premiere. I see some people in the chat saying, Bob, no competing with fellow Globebusters. Yeah, I actually absolutely have no issue with anybody ever going live during my live streams at all, because sometimes I get on the computer and I'm like, all right, let's go live, and I don't think about, oh, I wonder who else is live. Oh, shit, Karen B was live. Oh, I got to wait till after Austin's live. No, just go live whenever you feel like it. Premiere videos whenever you want, and people can get around and figure it out. That's why there's recordings. So I have no problem. But Spacebusters is also there in the chat, I see. But people should head over there because it's probably going to be great. And if you don't watch it, you're going to forget it. You're going to forget to watch. But with the good thing about this is you're going to leave, and then you're going to be like, oh, yeah, Jaron was on. We'll go back and watch it. So check it out, Hippocratic Hypocrisy. It's a combination of Dr. Kaufman and Spacebusters both, who put that together. I was kind of going to play it on the show, but I realized it is an hour, and I don't know if people would really like that. I think it's, I don't know. I'm actually okay with it, but we'll just have people, if they want to head over there. I'm going to give it a like. Boom. So, yeah, check it out. Maybe you guys will enjoy it. I want to just play. Okay, so let's get a little bit into the world that we're dealing with now, protests. Corona, I guess, is just gone, right? Except for, you heard George Floyd had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that, Rodrigo? That's for real. I'm not joking about that. George Floyd. So my question is,
Right.
they've been talking all about how if you die with corona, then that'll be marked as death. So will his death be marked as a corona death? So funny.
Possible. Yeah, one of my friends in Brazil that I work with, a good friend of mine, said he took his dad to the hospital, and he's 70-something, and they gave him a corona diagnosis. So I try, I just say, dude, I don't know what to say. Just don't take the kinds of drugs. Look for a naturopath. I don't know what to say. And yeah, but it's in Brazil, people are really convinced it's a thing because there's a lot of hypochondriacs. I think, in my experience, I know people that take, you can buy all kinds of medication that you're not supposed to buy with no prescription, and people do it. They self-medicate all the time. So I have friends who have to visit their parents in another town, and they come in and they stay outside of the house, and they throw things over the fence, and they talk from the other side of the fence and stuff. So yeah, it's just it's not good if somebody ends up dying and everybody's told, the real person dies, and then they're told that this is the diagnosis, and they have no means of actually contesting it. And this is kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of scary when you think about it, because no matter what you say after that, you're never going to convince those people that you say germ theory is wrong.
Right. No, it's a tough one to convince people, and I get it. It's like we talked about yesterday. It may even be more difficult than convincing people about flat Earth, to be honest. They're going to fight you on it, the whole idea. And that's great. I mean, people can do whatever they want. And I think I know who you're talking about. Didn't that person whose dad got the corona, didn't they say they also got it?
Who is this?
I thought we were talking about the same person.
No. I'm talking about a personal friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Actually, somebody I know. So what I'm saying is, like, it's hitting close to. I know somebody else who also said they got it. My friend's wife, and then they tried to give her some sort of experimental drug. She took it and she felt very ill and started puking, and she stopped taking it. And then in a few days she was okay. But that's going on in Brazil. People are very dependent on the medical system for anything. They go to the hospital. So it just worries me because the people I care about, right? No matter, if you may classify them as normies or blue pill or whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was gonna watch the beginning of this, but maybe not. I don't know when it's gonna start. Thought it was gonna start right now. I wanted to just see what kind of documentary it is. I always like to get the feel for it, but I guess we can just watch and see right from the beginning. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that there is a hypocrisy. There is no money in curing people. Just not. I mean, and they've convinced the world that if you ever came up with a cure for cancer, you'd be a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they've.
Right, they'll get rid of you very quickly and make sure nothing comes out.
Right, but you
and
can't
make sure
ever
you're
say
quack.
that. You can't say, "Oh, they're hiding the cure for cancer," because if you do, then people immediately say, "What? If somebody cured cancer, they'd be a millionaire. They'd be a hero. They'd be all over the news. They'd be everywhere." This is the kind of responses we get. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, same with the free energy, right? Like,
right.
You can have free energy. Everything's electric. Oh, that's not true. Someone would already be a billionaire.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's just hilarious stuff. The other thing I've learned, too, about just even with this George Floyd stupid shit. So, I mean, who believes in any autopsy anymore when there's a public autopsy that's done that says, no, he didn't die from suffocation? And then the family gets together and says, no, we want a private autopsy. And they come back and say, yeah, he did die from suffocation. And it's the same, first of all, it's the same coroner as Epstein. Right. It's like, what the hell? It just, oops, give it 2 minutes here. I just don't know who would believe anything they hear anymore when you know shit like that. It's not like, I mean, because you've been taught, like, the autopsy, right? What is the autopsy going to say? What does the JFK autopsy say?
Right.
Everybody
yeah,
let's go to the
script,
autopsy. Right.
First they die, then you wait for the autopsy. It's kind of like the
and it's like set in
school
stone,
that
right?
Shan't be named.
This is science, man. It's the autopsy. It will tell you everything you need to know, tell you everything in their system, exactly how they died, what time they died, whether, everything.
Couldn't possibly be faked.
No, it's the autopsy. And it's just ridiculous. And then you find out that it's always the same coroner who does all these autopsies. And then if you have a public autopsy, you get one result. And then for the private, the family comes on and says, no, it's a different result. So just in that one thing, George Floyd's autopsy, I've learned to never trust ever again another autopsy. So anytime somebody says, yeah, but did you see the autopsy? Who cares? What do you mean? Who cares?
Right,
well,
if you actually saw
the autopsy
said. This is a different question, right? If you went and saw all the documents, all the photographs, if there should be many photographs, all the evidence, all the tests that's supposedly performed.
I think it's all bullshit. I don't think they fucking know. Come on.
I think the doctors that do that kind of work try to find out cause of death. If in general they should be trying to figure it out, right? And
sure.
I mean, sometimes they must get it right or get it close to being,
sure.
That in
but
murders
and different. They don't know something like that, where some guy's knee is on somebody's neck and some guy has a heart attack. Mm-hmm. Well, what caused what? Was it the neon? Was it the suffocation? Well, it's actually cardiac arrest and was aided by the. They're just making shit up.
He really died? First of all, the body has been seen and confirmed and all that stuff.
I don't know about that. Sam, it's just all right. Let's watch the beginning of this real quick, and we'll be back to talk more. Let's see how this goes. We're just gonna watch, first 5 minutes or so.
This tale of two snakes is the story of how medicine in the United States and eventually the world was subverted into a commerce business enterprise with the central goal of creating and maintaining illness throughout the population for profit. We have been kept from fully developing our potential to reason, our intuition, to become enlightened, and to be the godlike beings that is our true nature. Animal man can be domesticated and controlled. Enlightened man cannot. The unholy trinity of corporate allopathic medicine, which is our mainstream medical system today, utilizing synthetic big pharma drugs, surgery, and radiation, drains the body's corpuscles through medical treatment strategies based on suppressing symptoms through synthetic drugs instead of targeting the cause of disease and removing it. What causes disease or cellular dis-ease? Toxic industrial environments, toxic foods, over-acidic diets, polluted air and water, prolonged states of mental stress and emotional distress, lack of sleep, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, electrosmog, heavy metal poisoning, vaccines, and even prescription drugs. The rod of Asclepius has been the exoteric symbol for medical healing since as far back as 1400 to 1200 BC. He was the son of Apollo, the god of healing, immortalized forever in the stars as Ophiuchus, the serpent holder, standing on the male genital phallus and corpuscle destroyer Scorpio, which we'll cover in the plot twist at the end of this film. It is the staff with the single snake, completely misunderstood exoterically to be a symbol of the snake's possession of anti-venom against its own poisons and its ability to shed its skin and renew, an exoteric symbol of longevity and immortality. But in 1902, a captain in the U.S. Army Medical Corps mistook the caduceus for the rod of Asclepius, and he proposed the adoption of the caduceus as the Medical Corps' official symbol. The two-snake caduceus is the symbol of the Roman god Mercury, whereas the one-snake rod is the symbol of Asclepius, natural healing. Before 1902, the caduceus was used as a symbol for commerce and companies in printing, as Mercury or Hermes was the messenger of the gods. It was used in mining, chemistry, and metallurgy, as alchemy was a hermetic science. Exoterically, Mercury is the god of commerce, trade, merchants, outlaws, thieves, and tricksters, and is represented by two serpents to show the opposing meanings of polarization. One snake is the healing, remediating, and curative, the upward flow of living corpuscles from the spleen to the cerebrum crown chakra, supporting positive energy, inner development, and enlightenment. The other serpent is the poisonous, debilitating, drainage of the living corpuscles away from the higher self, body, and mind. It is this second serpent that has infiltrated medicine. It has convinced us that paying for poison is the cure for cellular poisoning. It is no accident that this symbol was first adopted by the Army. The bogus germ theory driving allopathic medicine states that microorganisms invade our bodies and require military defense. This model of disease, the warfare model, where illness comes from an uncontrollable enemy outside of us, necessitates a drug from the medical machine as our only chance of survival. We fight this imagined enemy with chemical weapons and machines, just as any warfare. Allopathic medicine blames these enemy diseases on bad genes, or evil germs, mysterious and deadly cancers, unexplained autoimmune and neurodegenerative diseases, and many more, always outside of our control, with causes unknown and no ability to address or reverse ourselves. Thus, we are dependent on the medical system to rescue us. How did this happen? In 1847, the American Medical Association was founded.
All right, well, I'll stop it there, but I think that's going to be pretty tremendous. I thought it was important. He said, paying for poison is the cure for cell poisoning. Pretty amazing. What's going on here? I'm getting some Skype messages. Let me see. If they're of any importance, which probably is not the case. What? Thanks, Dave. What the hell? What does that mean? Somebody's just faking the image? Is everybody seeing that image? Am I missing something funny there?
I think he's saying that refraction must have caused her to not be black.
Yeah, but look at the arrow in the background is pointing, and there's no sign.
Oh, wow.
So what, is it just faking image? I don't know what's going on.
They forgot to put the shadow there.
They just put the picture of the sign there for some reason. Okie dokie. Oh, this is the image here for people to see. Black Lives Matter. So let's see here. So anyway, yeah, check that out. That's on Dr. Kaufman's channel. Also on the Globebusters channel as a premiere. Check it out now if you want. I won't hold it against you, I promise you. And then come back and check this out later. And guess what? If you don't, I won't hold it against you. That's just the kind of guy I am, you know, a nice guy like that. So anyway, we were talking about corners and them being bullshit. And we were talking about autopsies and those being bullshit. So next time you trust one of those, especially when you can just, I've always told the story of Buzz Aldrin, who, you know, is such a great man, would never tell a lie. And his mom, who committed suicide right before he was supposed to fly to the moon. And he obviously didn't care. It's like, I'm still going to the moon. Doesn't matter, Mom. You can kill yourself, whatever you want. Said he was going to go to the moon. And then they told the coroner that to just lie about the autopsy and say that she died of a heart attack rather than say that she committed suicide. And he wrote that in his book and just said, we told the coroner to lie. He lied. This way, nobody knew that my mom committed suicide before I went to the moon. So, but I trust him when he says he walked on the moon. I don't know about you guys.
Did you see that his son does some he runs his foundation and does this kind of outreach?
But aren't they suing each other?
Really?
I think if I'm not mistaken, Buzz Aldrin's always suing his children because they're like trying to protect him from losing all his money, or so they say. And I mean, because the guy is senile. Come on, let's be honest.
I mean, do you see him in Oxford with the two watches and a bunch of stuff on his arms and kind of drunk?
And the skull bracelets and everything. It's very weird.
Yeah,
Dude, imagine going through your whole life like having to lie and be propped up as some hero that didn't do anything. You know, you would go crazy.
Yeah, and even if they mind controlled him or hypnotized him into believing that he went, there's always got to be a little something in you that's like, I'm not sure. You know, even if they did, he'd be like, they tell me I did, but I mean, that would make you in and of itself senile. If somebody had told you you'd been hypnotized to believe something, and deep down inside you're like, not really sure, or if you're just an outright liar, one or the other. Either way, it's not going to make you into a very good person.
Yeah, remember that astronaut woman that falls when she's giving a press conference after returning, when she's describing her spacewalk.
Right.
And then she says, I lied. And then she falls on the floor, and Chris Hadfield is right there to help her out. You know, she looks to be, you know, could be hypnotism, could be drugs and hypnotic stuff. Who knows what it is, but this is definitely something that, you know, something strong. She falls twice, right? She
Yeah,
could
and
be
then
just
gets up.
tired.
Yeah, that's the one when she gets back or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's right away when they get back. But it's very strange. It's on the Associated Press. It's kind of older clip.
Hey, did y'all
And
see? Oh, sorry, bro. Did you see where the whole Hillary email thing got brought back up in court? Now she has to testify in September, and they started talking about the whole Obamagate thing a couple days ago. And like no one knows it because the world's like in chaos.
Tell
well,
us
the
about it.
QAnons are being on top of that, right?
Yeah, of course.
So tell me about it. I missed a little bit. Although I do see Obamagate trending on Twitter every now and again.
Yeah. Well, so it's official that they're looking into the mishandling of that Russian collusion investigation and how they, subversively got a FISA court warrant with a dossier they knew was fake, and illegally wiretapped the Trump administration. And the FBI agents were talking back and forth like this goes all the way up to the top. The boss said to do this. There's no way this guy's going to win. We're going to make sure he doesn't win. Stuff like that. Pretty diet woke things you already know, but it is pretty intriguing that they're openly discussing this now in official capacity. So it's going to come out. It just no one's even keeping up with that right now, which is all part of the whole facade, right? Like that the deep state is attacking Trump, and he's gonna try to get the good guys to weed out the deep state, and the deep state's making all the chaos with the news, so you stay distracted and don't see the court cases. That will be the narrative, but it is interesting to see. It's definitely starting to take place.
Very interesting stuff. I don't know what direction that's going to go in. I really don't. You think something's going to happen, or do you think it's more just theater?
No, yeah, I think that something on the surface will happen.
Mhm.
Because, well, like we know, that's like not even a big deal for a president to do that.
Right,
all he
not
did
at
was
all.
wiretap someone. Like what about how he dropped more bombs than every president combined, and they're all in a secret society? But
Right.
from the normie perspective, that's like unprecedented. That's like Nixon,
Or the
but
fact that
worse.
he's not. The
It's
fact that
just
he's
like
not,
Watergate, right? It's
the
the
fact
same
that he's
thing.
not American. That doesn't.
No.
It's not important.
Yeah.
Who would pay attention to those things? That his social security number belongs to somebody else, comes from a state that he was never a part of, and all that's not important though.
Yeah, then someone testified to being gay with him, and they came up dead.
Right.
But who cares about that?
Hey,
You
what he
wiretap
does-
Trump.
What he does in the
That guy
in the
ended up dead. That
slums
guy
of Chicago. It's
that
fine.
gave all those details about Obama.
Yeah. He ended up dead like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't do that.
I thought he was being ignored or something like that.
Well, effectively.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. So it was all just true.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Obama appears to be a sodomite. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Imagine that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy because the person that really still believes the politics thing, even them, they're kind of a conspiracy theorist right now, right? Like Trump says that the government's super corrupt and there's a deep state like cabal that controls everything that has to be outed. So even the normies are like entertaining the conspiratorial, aspect of this. And then when this starts to come out, it'll like vindicate him. It'll make other normies on the quote unquote left be like, oh, whoa, maybe Trump really is draining the swamp. And it's just getting crazy, we don't ever hear about like sitting presidents' crimes coming out. So that alone is going to shock everyone,
Especially Obama, right? It's so many. I remember in college, my American friends had the biography of Obama and stuff, and me and my friends used to make fun of that. We're like, oh my God, did you see that person has the Obama biography? We're like, oh my God.
Dude, I was in college in his second election, and when they announced that he won, the whole campus like erupted, yeah, like that cheering. So this will be a bit of a shattering to the worldview for a lot of people.
Is Hillary
Even
going to
though
end up
it's all
behind bars,
fake.
though? That's the only thing I care about.
Hillary, yeah, dude, that's pretty crazy too. Like Hillary had to go to court. Now she has to testify in September, and like no one knows this because they don't want anyone to know. They want to look like it's being covered by the deep state that runs the media. That's the psyop, So it's very meticulously crafted. I don't want to proclaim my victory beforehand, but it does appear that some of the stuff I predicted is going to happen. You know, like he's already doing the Internet Bill of Rights and the economy just waiting to be replaced. And now some big figures are supposedly going to get in trouble, and that would be officially the start of the psyop. Yeah.
So how do you think? How do you see? You're saying that the dollar is collapsing and stuff. How long until it hits the fan? In your opinion.
Well, I don't know. That's kind of a tough question. Like, if you were to compare it to the Great Depression, we had the little crash right after the Holocaust, and then there's like a 6-month period of hopium where it appears the market goes back up, right? And then it just like super crashes. So 6 months. I don't know. I mean, this is hyperinflation at a rate that's not comparable to any other time in history.
People
Like,
have
it's
never
insane.
seen it like this. Like we were talking
So
about before the show.
what's going on exactly? Like, is this just in the last few days?
Oh no! Well, since the whole Holocaust, they've been printing off trillions of dollars and just throwing it around anywhere that'll take it. So they know the dollar's over. They're milking it dry, and then, in my opinion, they reset it. It's the only way out is to reset it. I don't know. It's crazy because then if you introduce precious metals, well, then the precious metal price skyrockets. China has way more. It's just a pretty crazy environment. But to think that the dollar's just going to bounce back all good is
Simply-
a pipe dream. You know, it's already the death warrant's been signed.
It's crazy because from the South American perspective, like in Brazil, the dollar is still pretty crazy strong or whatever. You know, like many times what it should be. It should be maximum three reais, the Brazilian money maximum. That's
Well, they keep
too
printing
much.
just trillions of dollars, and
it's more now somehow. It's weird. It's like 5.
you can't just keep printing money and it never catch up to you. I think Jeff Berwick's video this morning I think was called "The Greatest Depression," and basically saying we're already there for the crash. But I love how his video started out. We'll watch this real quick. This is about 30 seconds. Here you go.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
So funny. We just print it. We just print it digitally. We just make money.
You could think
out
of
air.
it that way.
You could think of it that way. No, that is what you're doing. What the hell are you talking
That's
about?
literally what you're doing, bro.
And I don't think people realize how ridiculous that is. And somebody the other day was confused. I've actually seen a few times people say this, but they told me, Jaron, you said something about Bitcoin. You said, Bitcoin has a maximum of 21 million Bitcoins, and you were saying how that means it's much different than the dollar. And they said, what I don't understand is that how is that important if Bitcoin can add more zeros, meaning that eventually 0.0000000000001 Bitcoin could be worth something. So is that the same?
01. You left 1 0.
Yeah, one more zero. Hello, Pedro. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
But what I tried to explain to them is that means that Bitcoin is gaining value if you have to add more zeros like that. It's completely and totally different. So
it is actually better than the dollar. There's no doubt because it's a finite supply. It's 21 billion, maybe it's million, and then it's million. Okay, and it's at 18. Then it's going to get to 21 eventually, and then they do the halvening every 4 years, which cuts the supply of people that can mine it in half. So from that perspective, it is inflation, right? So that is why it's better, and that's why it was founded in theory. And Bitcoin, in my opinion, will shoot up purely because of the encryption, the blockchain, and the value of it not being inflationary. But the ultimate issue with Bitcoin is just like
usability.
If they just make it illegal, well, then what can we do? It's everyone can talk a big game, like we're all gonna go over there. Like, no, we're not. Like most people won't. So
and you know what? And sorry, I don't want to interrupt because I just entered into the show, but you named Bitcoin, and I was looking very deeply in all these things from the Donald Trump QAnon thing, but via the Steve Bannon. And Steve Bannon gives a few lectures, especially one in Oxford University. It's free to watch it, and another one in kind of TED Talks, but called Future is Now. And he mentioned something about the cryptocurrency, the same thing that the whistleblower, the banker whistleblower that I showed a few months ago. And they say that all the cryptocurrency is running on Zurich in Switzerland. And that is maybe why there is all this mystery behind who create really the Bitcoin and things like that. And the other thing is that remember what happened with the cryptocurrency based on Facebook. When Facebook trying to get out the Facebook cryptocurrency. And the fact is how many submarines and boats and guns you have to support your currency. That is my only issue in all this scheme of new type of currencies.
How many submarines
like,
you mean? Yeah, I got you.
Like that, what's the value of it is that it requires electricity to mine the Bitcoin. So the cost of it is the electricity. People have to have a certain wattage per hour rates, and it's real cheap in Texas where it doesn't get that hot. But USA is way lower on the pole. Like China's got way better electricity prices. Blah blah blah. So the amount that you can mine per hour based on it takes about 10 minutes to validate a blockchain compared to how much you have to pay. That's the value. But technically, it is just a number that's being encrypted and cut in half, and then they're basing the value on electricity. Right. And I don't know where this whole PSYOP goes. Maybe they introduce some free energy. I honestly can't put a limit on any of it because Trump has alluded to that. So I don't really know. And then when it comes to who started Bitcoin, yeah, it's just an anonymous name. It could have been the Russian government for all we know. It could have just been the Grabblers acting like it was some government.
Yeah, a lot of people talks about that it was on Zurich, on the Switzerland, where everything started.
Yeah, maybe.
And it could be a way. It could be a way to take people's wealth as well, because there's a lot of people who you have to think that all the Bitcoin is basically being purchased with money, and then a lot of people are losing access to the Bitcoin or don't remember their password or whatever, and you just have people losing money. Where's that money going? It's mostly ending up in banks.
Mm-hmm. It's a really right now it's a really nice thing. Give me dollars and I give you digital currency.
Right.
I really love to have that that business running. Give me dollars and I give you numbers.
It's great.
Right. Yeah, but what's so crazy about all this is you can't hand-wave dismiss it that technology is the future, right? Like encryption.
Blockchain is everything. Blockchain will be the future. No doubt.
How does it work, Jaron and Austin? The blockchain itself, the technology. Why is it so?
Because it's a digital ledger that can't be changed.
Right. And then it keeps on adding on to it over and over and over. So there's no way to fake it or to get to it. And it's way faster validation. It's definitely the future, right? Like this is like internet before it was the internet, when people were like, you can't send mail through the computer, you crazy person, and now everyone uses email.
Right. In 10 years, in 20 years, and it might even be sooner than that, then all house purchases, all property exchanges, marriage, everything will be done through a blockchain.
So it's faster, more efficient. Is that what it is, and more impossible to?
Yeah, it's more tamper-proof than anything. You can get rid of a lot of middlemen. I mean, that's why the industry hates it so much, is because really, I mean, there's a lot of different coins out there too that have done like smart contracts where you can really get down where you completely eliminate middlemen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's removes the middleman's idea of decentralization, and then it's way more efficient, like as in faster, it's cheaper, and it's protected, right? It's super encrypted. But the governments, which of course run by the Grabblers, they're not just going to sit by and watch this happen. They know that, and that's why I always mention XRP, because XRP is working with them. So the big banks are working with XRP, cross-border system. So they're going to use a cryptocurrency that adheres to regulations and the only one that exists is XRP. So they call it the banker's coin, because the banks are working with it. So to give you an example, like right now, if you go to a restaurant and you buy something, just because you're allowed to leave right then and you paid for it, it didn't actually go through. Like it takes a couple days to settle. Or if you send, like, say you send $1 million overseas, it could take like a week or something. Yep. But if you do it on the XRP ledger database, you can send $50 million for less than 1 penny, and it'll be there in like under 3 seconds, validated, fully encrypted. So the banks are going to have to do it, right? So instead of like being like, we accept Bitcoin, they're just going to roll out their own crypto. And I think the U.S. government's already set this up with regulations. They're waiting to release it. And then if you listen to Trump talk at the World Economic Forum this year, he says we're doing stuff that's super future technology that most people wouldn't believe we'll be able to do as fast as we're going to do it. So it's I did a lot of research into it. The government is clearly working with XRP. It's clear, this is not financial advice. But
when is this coming out?
That's the question. That's the question. We don't know that, and we're not going to know that. They're real quiet about their deals. They sign NDAs, and then I think they're even suppressing the price to make the deals with these banks. China is real big in it. Almost every major country you can think of. Brazil signing a deal with them right now. So it's going to be the cross-border. It's going to basically be the middleman cryptocurrency that there'll still be fiat currencies. Each country will still have their currency, but this will kind of transfer it from place to place. Bitcoin and all that's a totally different ballgame, right? It's like a full decentralized approach to a different type of currency that doesn't adhere to regulations. So whenever they implement their own crypto and then drop the hammer on that one, well, the only way Bitcoin maintains its value is everyone bucks the system and moves there and still uses it, and that's a pipe dream in my opinion.
XRP, with the difference is Ripple, right?
Yeah. Ripple's the company, and XRP's what they use. Yeah.
So would the difference be that with this new form that's totally legit, then people can easily make international purchases and transactions and whatnot, and then transfer their credit into their local currency, which you cannot do it so easily with Bitcoin.
Right. It costs way more. It takes way longer. And actually, see, people will start using this and won't even know they're using it. Right, like it'll be in the background. It'll be the settlement service in the background that's making all the transactions. The average person wouldn't even notice a difference. It'll just be because it's already like basically instant for us, but then they take days for settlement. So people would start using it without even knowing it, and the government would just kind of like discreetly say we're changing our transaction platform, and no one would think twice. And if anytime you accept money online for a business, you'd be accepting it through potential XRP ledger. And I don't know. It's pretty crazy because they admit that the current system is antique. It's opaque. So like it's going away, and they're obviously not going to sit there and let like some free money system replace it. They're going to step in and usurp it.
Yeah, for sure. Couple of super chats real quick. Kevlar, thank you very much. Says thanks for everything you do. Appreciate the community, kind sir. And Brian Robadu said stimulus checks will end in July, economic effect then. So what is the story with the stimulus checks? I'm not somebody who gets those. So are they sending like one a month to people for $1,300?
No. Everyone just got that one $1,200 one, and then they're trying to pass another one. Other countries, except for the United States, are like doing monthly payments, I believe, but America just sent the $1,200 out, and then they added the $600 a month insurance or unemployment. So if you file unemployment, the federal government adds $600 to whatever your state will give you right now. So that's why unemployment's super high, and they're trying to get another stimulus to go through.
And why people want to stay home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, why would they want things to get back? But looks like, I saw numbers today came out. Looks like unemployment is as bad as they thought. Hopefully that's the truth. And I think a lot of businesses, I've heard of a lot of people just saying their businesses are reopening, even here in California where certain things aren't allowed, but I've heard people doing it, which is great news. My dad, who's very, what do you want to call him, cucked? Yeah, probably. But he's, he sticks to the status quo pretty well. But I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, yeah, went and got my hair cut. I'm like, oh, you did? And he's like, yep, I had to go to the back door of my barber because my barber isn't allowed to open, but I went to the back door and he's doing it on the down low. So I'm like pretty impressed. I was like, yeah, go get him, Dad. Way to go. So I'm hearing that some businesses are just reopening, and even if they're not allowed to. Here in my town, I'm seeing restaurants open now. People are eating inside. People are eating on the patio. So that's all good news. Are you guys seeing the same thing?
Yeah, oh yeah. Here in Tennessee, people are just living their life.
Yeah. So it's good that. So maybe it won't be as bad as everyone thought.
Yeah.
But you know, are they going to just bring a second wave around now with all these protests? It'd be very easy just to say, oh, because of these protests now, look at the second wave coming. Everybody got everybody sick.
Yeah, they opened the businesses here, and you can go into the restaurants. But the one we went, which is just a place walking distance from the house, they ask a bunch of questions when you come in. They ask whether you had symptoms, blah blah blah. They put your name in a database. They ask for your email, your phone
They take
number.
your name, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would have gave them the middle finger.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Huh. Weird.
It's funny because we know the owners of the place, and you can tell, I mean, they're being forced to do this, and they think it's ridiculous, obviously, but they don't have an option, right?
Yeah, I guess not. Brian said in Super Chat, $600 a week plus another $350 from state. So it's pretty good money, really.
Yeah, everybody's state's different. You know, like Tennessee's really, really low. It's like 200 a week. But some states are up to like 5 or 550 a week. So yeah, people are making way more money staying at home than they were working.
Right.
So, they it's just awful, man. Universal basic income's being normalized right in front of our eyes, which removes self-sustainability, you know?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have more people dependent. I mean, it's the kind of the whole goal, the whole
Yeah,
intent.
that kind of money in Brazil would get a family of 6 going for a month with the transfer rate right now.
Yeah, you'd be fine in California with that kind of money, to be honest. So you'd be just fine. One thing, and we'll just talk about this real quick. I don't know if you guys have seen, but I always like to call out people when they do at least videos I enjoy. And again, he's probably not for everybody. Maybe everybody's not going to like him. But have you guys started watching any Alex Stein's Conspiracy Castle yet?
No, I haven't.
No, we just saw that for one time.
God, yeah, his show is so funny to me. And again, I don't know, maybe it's not funny for everybody. But again, he's got, what does he have now? The latest. Oops, let me find where I put him here. He's only got a couple videos. He's got 322 subscribers. So moving up there slowly, but he just started. But he's been doing these shows, and every one of them, he's just got me dying. I mean, he gets me laughing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Conspiracy Castle with your conspiracy asshole, Alexander Stein. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. I just wanted to give you a quick update. We are not going to be able to be back in the studio until this Sunday. So
he did a moon landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Conspiracy Castle with your conspiracy asshole, Alex Stein. And tonight is a very special evening because we are going to dive into one of my favorite conspiracies of all time, and that is the moon landing hoax. And guys, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, Alex, I know the moon landing's fake. But if you don't know the moon landing's fake, you are in for a treat tonight, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to present you a few clues, as I call them. And I'm going to...
So check out his channel if you want. He's really funny if you start watching him. Where's this other video here? I'll be able to show you.
I'm going to be doing it at my
this
castle.
Is the one. Yeah.
Until then,
he was showing. Did you see the David Guetta? He's like making fun of him for doing this. He's supposed to do this video for George Floyd, and he's just making fun of it. I don't know. I can't stop laughing when I watch it. Here, it's a little bit.
Go here. Let me do a little screen share screen. All right, David Guetta. And I have seen David Guetta. He is a techno DJ, and at his raves, it's usually a lot of children taking Molly ecstasy tablets, and they also take magic mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms. It's a very intense scene. I don't know if you've ever been to.
Fast forward a little bit.
Davey boy, you're gonna look like freaking King Kong, my knobs. And just killing it, dude. You're gonna look like King freaking Kong up there, David. Davy boy, you're gonna look like freaking King Kong, my guy. So we're gonna give you this statement. You're gonna read it, pretend to press the buttons and crap, but we'll be controlling that because the TV camera's got to sync up with that. So don't even trip on that. You just say the regurgitated small statement, and if you can, say it as ingenuine as possible, because that'll make you look baller as hell, dude. You'll look so baller. You'll be like, you say it like you just don't even give a hell about him.
So this guy David
Say it
Guetta
like
is
that,
supposed
but
to
like,
read some statement about
do
George
care
Floyd.
about
He
him,
reads it so stupid.
so
how he
you
says
can get
it.
some clout, and we're gonna use this George Floyd thing for some Instagram likes and for some Twitter, and then these companies can donate money. We gonna raise money. David on the ledge, Davy boy. Are you ready to twist the biscuits, my guy?
So this record is in honor of George Floyd, and I really hope we can see more unity and more peace. Things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Shout out the Floyds. Shout out.
And he breaks this whole thing down, and he's so right. The guy's like reading off of a script. It's so terrible. But anyway, people should check out his channel. Every single video. Oops, what did I do? Every single video that he's done so far has had me dying. I don't know why. It's just he's funny. He's got some cat that's in the background the whole time. Number 3 was called News Edition. The one where he talks about the car burning down was great. He goes into the whole
school in the northeastern area.
you have to watch this one. This one's the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm laughing. He's talking about this fat cop and keeps saying that he's the sauce. You got to see it. Anyway, Conspiracy Castle episode number 4, Police Academy, back to Academy Rapid React, hilarious. And the David Guetta one, too funny, and the moon landing hoax, hilarious. And yeah, he's getting some views on it now, 679. So it's good. So people will start checking him out. So love to see people who are doing good, funny things. He's very funny. I think he's going to be on Raw with us on Monday. Just because he's hilarious. So check him out. Let's see what else we've got going. So I wanted to show you that video. What's wrong with this? Oh, there we go. I wanted to show you the video with Larkin Rose. But first, maybe we should see some. Is Iru still here? Iru, are you there? Iru?
Yeah, I'm here.
Iru, do you have any protests down there, or is it? I mean, are you
Yes.
is it still as bad with? But it's mostly for Corona lockdowns. What is the protest?
Yes, yes. We don't have. Well, we have I believe was like 5 or 6 days ago. There was a protest carried on by the feminist group here in Argentina because it was like a rape. A bunch of guy rape a woman, and it was a very dramatic thing. So the girls that get out into the street and protest for that, they also carry like a banner for George Floyd. Something very strange because here in Argentina or Latin America we have a lot of racism. I don't know if I pronounce
racism,
well.
Yeah.
Racism. But with the poor people and of course also black, but the black here in Argentina particular is not the African black people. It's another type of black. There was like a mix a few hundred years ago between the Spanish people, the Italian people, and the Indians here, but we have still in our brains, in our social daily basis language, the word nigger. You are a nigger of this or nigger of that, but it's not, it's based on the same type of slavery that the people from that race suffer along the last maybe 200, 300 years.
Right.
But here we have the poor people is the equivalent of your George Floyd, if you want to see in that way.
In Brazil.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly like in Brazil. Uruguay has really black people in terms of the
of that blood type of people, very black,
like in Brazil.
Like in Brazil, exactly. And in terms of the protest, tomorrow we're going to have our third protest, but we are still very, very far away from you, because here we are still trying to get our jobs. And our government is saying that supposedly this lockdown, in terms of the economic lockdown, is going to be until the October. And like I mentioned before, we don't have a money system, a money backup in terms of the individual that it's at home. The 90% of the people here trying to survive on daily basis. You need to get out of your house to bring the food. And I'm speak all the way also for myself. It's getting very, very worse here. So the protest of tomorrow is going to be in the main capital, but also it's going to spread in different states of Argentina, and it's going to be primary for getting our jobs back. At least that.
Mm-hmm. Do you mostly get to, peacefully protest without the police beating the shit out of you?
Yes, we have peace protest, but we have also infiltrated thing, and not just infiltrated in terms of the own government, but also, a lot of maybe other minority community, take the take the advantage of the protest itself to, bring their ideas that maybe is not in the same target as the protest itself. So sometimes we have this internal fight between people, because maybe it's gonna come some, political parties and things like that, and could be something that at least start the fire.
We got a super chat from Barrett Snyder. Says they're getting ready to start testing healthy people in Montana. Round 2 coming. Yeah, this whole thing with the whole asymptomatic carriers. What a recipe for nonsense, just to tell people, now people who have no symptoms are actually the ones getting other people sick, costing lives. It just becomes a basically it's like an autopsy to me. It's that kind of bullshit.
In fact, today one of the news on the major of the media press was that the government was worried because every 100 tests, only 10 people tested positive. Like they are trying to.
They want more than that.
They want more.
Right.
So the government is worried.
That's not working as
that's not
they
working.
predicted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and of course, and they want the numbers to keep going up, and of course, the more people you test, the more people it's going to go up when it's something that we all have inside us in some way.
And remember that we're going to have winter. We are entering into the winter season.
Well,
so that's going to be, of course, another trigger for have
guys,
more. Yeah, exactly.
It gets really cold in Argentina, right?
Well, in different parts of the country, we have different temperatures because our land is very, very high. It's a huge size. Yeah. So we have in Argentina, you have the 4 weathers all the time. But when is winter, yes, it's really coldy, especially, of course, near to Antarctica in the south of Argentina. North of Argentina is, near from Bolivia, Brazil, that kind of places. You're not going to have snow. But, for example, remember that the majority of the people that lives in Argentina is concentrated in the capital state. And we have like 18 million people there, and the 20 million rest. It's spread in the different parts of the country, but the focus of the people is really in small spot here in Argentina. And that spot on winter, we have a lot of humidity coming from the river and from the ocean. So it's that type of cold that penetrate your bones, and we have statistically speaking, we have
like 60,000 people die every year from cold and influenza, that type of thing. And now we are at the same average
Same
number.
rate.
Yeah.
No changes, no excess.
No change.
That's-
No.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Like when I look, the kind of perception we have now after going through all this information from the very beginning, right? That we've been following this, all the 400s, the Wuhan, the 33s, and everything in the beginning, announcing it, and now we're deep into it. What I find most amazing is how the whole thing is just in the imaginations of people. It's just something they told themselves a story and.
Yeah,
voila.
but again, and maybe I am a little repetitive with this topic, but when you listen Steve Bannon, he was the creator of the phrase deep state,
right.
And he infiltrated, and this is on record.
Your theory is that he is QAnon. He is Q. You think
it's not QAnon, it's BAnon. Yes,
BAnon. That's what Bannon. Yeah.
Yeah, but even because. What I'm trying to say, for example, can I share my screen a little bit?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Let me just because maybe.
Hold on, let me fix
okay.
this. I got something wrong.
Let me go there and
close
I believe, yeah, I have here.
Okay, you're good.
So I'm not going to. Fortunately, all these speeches from Bannon is in English, so that's the nice thing. I don't have the selection of the part, but this is, for example, a lecture that he gives in 16th of November of 2018, and it's like a very prophetic thing because he's talking about how you can. This guy has a slogan, and that slogan is, "We need to destroy the state to create a new one." I came to the administration of Donald Trump to destroy the state and the establishment and create a new one. And that is what we are seeing, not just in the case of United States, but also in the complete world. They are using this ordo ab chaos. And he pronounced that even with that type of words. Right. And there is a book from a whistleblower from Cambridge Analytica, one of the main guys behind the Cambridge Analytica. And remember, Steve Bannon was the guy that gives that name, and he's a vice president. He was the vice president of Cambridge Analytica. And Cambridge Analytica is still running under the original name called SCL Group. Let me just type it, SCL Group. And primarily, this group is it's a military group. It's psychological warfare. You can contract this guy to make a psychological warfare and intervene your country. And they say, the threat of conventional warfare has changed, and now we have to recognize that information can be a weapon. Right. So these guys, they start infiltrating a lot of terrorist cells, at least under their own judgment, and they look at that. If I look at this, if I type Steve Bannon right now, and I go just simply to Wikipedia, let me just enter into the English thing. Take a look how many countries he helped to, create his the revolutions. Campaigns, exactly. First of all, he was and what you're gonna listen or hear from me, it's things that you can find if you follow, the guy himself. Okay, he was infiltrated and looking into 4chan like 6 years ago, and he detects that in 4chan you can find young people that it was disconnect from the system and has a lot of frustrations in terms of the system because they are not capable to feed yourself. and trying to get a real job and trying to buy a house, because maybe we are the last generations to buy a house. And that is very important. Buy a terrain, a piece of land in somewhere. Maybe we are on the verge of that type of changes in society. We are going to receive maybe from our parents houses or land, but it's going to be really, really difficult to buy one. So the guy started looking and he infiltrated. Remember, this guy is an ex-employer at the high level of Goldman Sachs. He was he received instruction and he educated himself in Jesuit schools. So this guy started to detect in the 4chan network all that type of psychological young people. And he, when he become a vice president of Cambridge Analytica, he started using all the big data about 4,000 and 5,000 data points. So imagine that it's like if I ask you right now, tell me 5,000 things from yourself right now. You don't even know it. How many things can you list?
It's like deep profiling that they're keeping tabs on people on multiple levels. That's what you're saying, and it's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, 5,000 data points of a person. They know you better than yourself multiplied by 100, So all these guys knows about the conspiracy community. And in fact, they infiltrated that. And that is one of of course, you can use both eyes, but that is one of the slogans from QAnon, is infiltration instead of invention. So they know all these psychological profiles of the people. This guy proposed the fact to have an army from young people that you need to make felt that they are part of something big. So if you start looking what these guys design in terms of psychological warfare, it's the same thing that we are looking right now into the QAnon thing. It's without any, they don't forget even a comma in the script. And this guy was a really high-ranked producer on Hollywood. So he create the Breitbart News. He's he wrote books like The Rise of the Populism. He's a very fan of Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, things like that. He's from all right, all that kind of things that you can take some of the ideas for something good, but of course, if it come from a guy that works on the Goldman Sachs, he was to the Jesuit school, it's very difficult to to take into the good sense of the thing. That's my opinion.
Seems like a younger Henry Kissinger or something.
Exactly. Yeah, you can translate it in that way. And let me see if I can translate it here, because I believe here is here. Let me just translate it from this web page, because it's gonna be better. Let me just go quickly. English. Here you go. But for example, if you read this, after leaving the White House, Bannon has campaigned and has helped various European political movements on the right and far right. This include the National Front in France, in Hungary, or Hungary, I don't know how to pronounce, Germany, Sweden, Democrats, Freedom Party of Netherlands, League Northern Italy, Austrian Freedom Party, Swiss People Party, the NOS here in Argentina, the Vox in Spain, the Identity Movement PAN. So he worked with Vladimir Putin, the Chinese Xi Jinping, American Donald Trump. I mean, who is behind this guy? Because you cannot intervene all these movement and political parties without help. This is not like is like a missionary. He is working in the sense of make missions like the Jesuit order did. I don't know what you think about that, but he's talking about the wind of the populism and the rise of the populism, and he worked for Goldman Sachs. He was instructed by the Jesuit, and this guy he himself wrote the terms of deep state and the narrative, and how to here you can see in the book. I mean, how to persuade the young people to create an army to flow the information organic into internet and create the narrative of the deep state itself.
I thought I just heard about this guy in the news the other day. Didn't he have something to do with some planes flying around the Statue of Liberty?
He is right now in China and helping the protest in Hong Kong.
Right.
He's very active.
Yes,
and he's a really good friend of Fox News.
They flew some planes around the Statue of Liberty that said, congratulations to the Republic of China or something. I haven't heard about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in the Georgetown University, which is a Jesuit school, and he's a very rank guy. Yeah, I mean, he studied in the Catholic church schools. He was military. Donald Trump himself named it first of all was the main chief of the campaign, but then he was in the let me see here very quickly on the National Security Service. So the slogan of this guy is "Destroyed to build again," and that is what's happening in all the world. It's not just in United States. Yeah, and in this talk, he talks about, and it's called the future of news. He talks about how to restrict the importance of the restriction of information in social platforms, how to put the tag of fake news to things. So everything that Donald, he is the guy behind
it, yeah.
all the protocol. The term is not protocol. The all that segment that Donald Trump make every day in the White House. I don't know how to call the
speeches that he
makes. Not the speeches. Let me just very, very quickly. I don't want to take the. Let me just very quickly go into here, for example. Yeah, I can go. Sorry for this. I didn't have prepared all these things. No, not that one.
So
Here.
they say he coined the term. He invented the term deep state and used it as a campaign. And also, he might be behind fake news as a tag. He's saying.
Yes.
Strategies.
Yes, of course. The term deep state itself, it's
might be strategy is the word you might have been looking
for. The word exists before Steve Bannon, but he used that to create a narrative. Let me just go back a little bit. This type of thing that Donald Trump every day he's signing. Put the signature. Yeah, signing. I don't know the name.
The executive orders.
Executive orders.
Right.
Yes. He talks about how you can turn crazy the media and confusing media. All the time. Signing all these executive order for everything. All the time. And then use that like I am the president with more signing executive order of the history of the United States.
He has to beat Obama. Has he beaten Obama on this one?
Yeah, he beat Obama
did that
and the rest of the. Unfortunately, well, this is I make this for Spanish, but I need to do it also for English. But the bottom line is that this guy is a very, very smart guy. He's fine. I don't know who financed him. I know he received money for one of the biggest multimillionaire of China, Goldman Sachs. At least he works on Goldman Sachs. So, the same type of power is behind all this without any doubt. But this guy is a really key into, if you want to maybe have a different opinion in the big plan of what's going on around the world today.
Right. Yeah, people should check him out. He is still very busy. It's not like he's gone away.
Busy.
If he is the chief strategy.
Yeah, not yet.
No, not anymore. They say he stepped away, but he's still doing it. That's what he's saying.
They're still doing it. In fact, for example, let me just sorry for that. Very quickly, let me just show you, just to see, because a lot of people they get happy when listen. For example, Donald Trump talks about fake news. CNN is fake news. CNN is fake news. Like the rest of the media is not fake news.
Right.
It's just CNN, But I try to talk from the perspective of even the conspiracies channels, not just, regular people that maybe are confused. And remember that, for example, very, very quickly, here we have Steve Bannon this is like 6 days ago, talking about China and things like that. So right now, Donald Trump has a Jesuit and a Zionist side by side, with all the rest of the team. That, remember, the administration of Donald Trump, there are all Zionists. More than 30 people in the administration are pro-Israel and pro-Zionist.
Yeah, he made that big speech about Israel, how he's the most pro-Israel.
Wow! Of course. Yeah. Yes. So they talk about CNN, but what about the rest of the media? They are all under the wing of Bilderberg group and the Council for Foreign Relations. In fact, one of the why Donald Trump is so nice with the Fox News people, because, for example, remember that this journalist from the Fox News, she was in this meeting that they have before the election, this charity dinner. She's the girl from Fox News, which participate in all these bureaucracy, multimillionaires, dinners, group, meetings, if you want to see in that way. And then she came and asked to Donald Trump all the questions that he needs to give, to the public. Yeah, we're going to use the military to give the vaccine, or we're going to use FEMA to control, or we're going to use the military to control this protest. So they talk very, very closely with Steve Bannon, that he is dressed like a Jesuit. So what I mean is, it's not CNN fake news. Every news out there is fake.
Yeah.
So why the people get happy because Donald Trump
that's the
finger.
That's the whole psyop of fake news, is because if one organization is fake news, well, then the other must be real news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the people forget of all these connections. So that is what I'm so pissed off with all this thing about QAnon and things like that. So
remember,
I just want to bring
all the news agencies talk about space fraud, and all the news agencies tell us we went to the moon, and all the news agencies tell us that 9/11 was as they reported. So it's very easy to tell, and all the news agencies, sell us on these psyops and false flags. So it's real easy to figure out that they're all bullshit. Zayla Raiden sent a super chat, says, "Sorry guys, don't have a chance to listen, but I got a chance to shoot you a couple bucks." Well, thank you. Wish I hadn't time to call. What? Wish I hadn't time to call. Do you have a public email? Yeah, I do. jeranism@yahoo.com. I don't respond much, but I do read some of it. You guys have email addresses you want to pass out in case anybody have questions for you, Iru?
For me?
Yeah. Do you have? Well, I don't know who he's talking to, so I was just gonna. If everybody wants to give their email, unless you don't want people emailing you.
Okay, yeah. It's my name and my surname, Iru Landucci with double C, without the H, and at gmail.com.
Austin, you have one you want to give out?
Yeah. Witsit, WITSIT at protonmail.com.
Nice. Proton Mail, very nice.
Proton, wow.
It's encrypted. I have it too. I haven't used it much, but it's pretty nice. And Rodrigo, you have one you want to give out?
Just posting on the chat here is this cosmoartist@gmail.com. Yeah, I think this is very convincing case for, I mean, this guy being a puppeteer and being very deeply involved in this, and I think Iru has latched on to something really worth of more attention here.
Yeah, even the one that it just listed in his Wikipedia is like ridiculous. You see all those connections.
Yeah.
And
and
there's so many more
another really nice connection is one of the happy, because remember that sorry, I don't want to interrupt anyone, sorry.
No, go ahead. No. I'm just saying
this connection,
right?
The happy-go-lucky Jewish group that connects Trump and Putin. This is a fabulous article. That is why you can hear so many times Donald Trump very beyond Israel. It's pro-Zionist, and even beyond that, it's pro of the groups that control him. And the connection via the real estate business, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing how they put money in his campaign and all the people behind it. And it's not only with Donald Trump, it's with Donald Trump, Putin, and Bolsonaro here in Brazil. And the first two guys, it's one of the, supposedly our saviors, the savior from humanity via QAnon, because QAnon is all the time is related the actions from Donald Trump and also Putin.
Yeah, and what you're saying before about Argentina, those towers that are locked together, now the government is wholly controlled by these people for hundreds of years, right? The same thing happens in Brazil. And Bolsonaro, he tries to imitate Trump, and then he calls the media fake news as well. He does that, and he's been doing other stunts where he's been dancing and singing and stuff like that. And
even the hydroxychloroquine, everything that Donald Trump's do, it's replicated. Bolsonaro is trying to replicate. Yeah. Yeah. They are all in the same boat,
right.
And of course we are, drawing in the water.
Yeah, the vice president in Brazil is a 33-degree Mason.
Yeah, and all the narrative behind the patriots, people, everything like that. I don't say that is something bad or good, but the narrative itself is created by this type of characters.
Right.
That 100% is behind the curtain all the time.
Well, I think what's going to be good is I'm going to show something here in a few minutes that I think.
Let me just stop the
okay.
the screen share.
Well, do you guys want to see some police state activity in the United States? Does that sound like fun?
Yeah.
Let's watch some. And then after, I'm going to show a video by this guy Larkin Rose where I think it's 8 minutes long, but he sums up what I think. And then after, and then we can land the plane a little early. But I want to get your guys' opinion if you agree with everything he said, because it's not very often that I'll hear somebody talk and say at the end of it, like, I completely, totally agree. It's very rare, because usually I'm like, I kind of agree with that, and like this part I would change. But this guy does an 8-minute talk where I listen to the whole thing. I'm like, I don't really think I disagree. Maybe there's a few points, a few little things where you're like, but for the most part, you're like, that's what needs to be said. That's what people need to hear. Let me bring up this here. Iru, I didn't get your opinion though of the SpaceX thing. Did you watch it much?
No, it's I made a full show of 2 hours getting laughed very, very. In fact, I propose what we call like a device for measure the indignation. I don't know if that is correct word. Let me just. Indignation is like indignation. Sorry for. Well, no, we don't have the equivalent in English. I don't know if Rodrigo can.
Indignant.
Indignant. Yes. I propose.
Yeah.
Yes, indignation. I mean, I create like in Photoshop like a thermometer, but for measure the indignation along the SpaceX launch. So anytime that they pronounce something ridiculous, the thermometer of the or the indignometer start rise up, and when they hit the top, everything's going to explode. But it was really, really fun in that terms, and in technical terms. They show this. It's a ballistic missile. Getting out of your view and maybe going up there at 30, 40 kilometers in terms of the height. And they show, some cameras is in the straight line horizon, and then curved horizon, and they make all these camera switch, and it's the same show. I mean, but the fact it's a political thing. It's a political tool because Donald Trump is a patriot, and he is trying to bring jobs into the United States. Well, that it's why he's the president that after 9 years we launch again from our land, and but they didn't make nothing new.
No, it's all crap. It's all garbage, and you're absolutely right. And the whole idea of Elon Musk and how he's here to save everybody, I talked about it on Monday, but I was trying to tell people about some videos that were going on Monday that were basically robbing people of Bitcoin by showing Elon Musk and saying, here, Elon Musk is giving away Bitcoin. All you have to, and these were videos on YouTube, and it said, send 1 Bitcoin, we'll send you 1, Elon Musk will send you 2 back. And I checked, and they had... People had stolen that video alone had stolen $500,000 from people because people sit there and they see Elon Musk and they just think, oh, I'm sure that's what he wants to do is I just send him 9,000 and he sends me back 18,000. So sadly, as much as I try and warn people about it, at the same time, whoever lost that money deserved to lose it. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
If you lost money in that,
speaking of which, you may want to take a look at this. I'm just posting a link. His girlfriend, this goes by the name Grimes or something like.
Oh, she's crazy. She's evil. Wicked girl.
I tried to listen to one track and I had to turn it off before.
Oh,
I was
she does
like, wow,
music,
this is poison.
Yeah, she does music, huh? Yeah, she's disgusting.
But she wants to, and they're talking. I saw this like a WeTransfer article. I don't know, it just came across. She of course wants to have a brain implant, and she now has a avatar.
She's demonic.
She's demonic. Yeah, she claims she will. Yeah, she's a total transhumanist propagandist, and she has her albums called Mrs. Anthropocene, and I don't know if you guys come across this term, but in academia it's a big term because it's bullshit. It's I've been speaking against it for years, but
bullshit.
Bullshit. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just disturbing that this stuff is. We were looking. Ace McLeod we were having a conversation in Discord, and we think the numbers on the videos are also fake. Like there's too few likes for the numbers seem so off. Like 700,000 subscribers, 50 million views. Just they use the numbers to generate the impression they want to get on the public that this is a very successful person worthy of listening to with enormous musical talent.
Zero, really.
And like even if you go back in the 60s and 70s and you're like, okay, maybe this music is propaganda, like Led Zeppelin, Satanist, right? Jimmy Page definitely is Satanist. Then Stevie Wonder, people wonder whether he's blind or not, and all these other people, Michael Jackson. But the quality of the music, you can't deny it's good music in a way. But this stuff coming out now lasts.
Yeah, but Steve wonder, but Steve Bannon wonder if he can, put his plan on the road.
So we'll watch some of these videos. You can tell me to stop if you want. They're just, kind of what's been going on in the country over the last 4 or 5 days or however long since these protests have started. But I thought it'd be good to watch and then to watch the Larkin Rose video and see what you guys think about what he's got to say. So just if you see something you want me to stop, go ahead and let me know. I don't know why that keeps happening. Do you have to log in to watch Facebook video?
I cannot see the screen.
Oh, that's right. Hold on. We're going to have to redo this whole thing. Hold on. Because you guys
Hey, man,
it, and I
after 5 years and you still do the same thing.
It's because you took it over from me. Hold on. We have to fix this all. It's going to take me a second now. I'm going to have to log in because otherwise we're going to have problems. Okay, and then I'm going to share screen with sound for you guys. All right, you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this. Stop it.
Just force this shit on you all the time.
Oh, man. She's like, can I just watch the damn video? All right, we're going to enlarge this.
What the heck is this? What?
There's the kind of shit going on. Oops, people can't see it. Sorry. Hold on.
They're running over people with their cars.
Yeah, here we'll start over. Pushing women, running over people with horses. Spraying people with mace.
Oh, dang.
Just look at that. I mean, watch that again. I mean, this lady's just walking, and this cop just squirts her for no reason. Watch. She's just walking. It's like, I'll squirt you.
Bastards.
Absolutely.
Are you okay? Katie, are you okay? Can't fucking do that!
Get the fuck on! Get the fuck off! What the fuck you gonna do about it?
Oh,
wow.
The cowards.
He's not doing anything! Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest. Clubbing people in the head with sticks. Okay, that's one of them. Want to watch the next one?
Sure.
See here.
Well, what the crazy part is, they're painting this like it's just a bunch of people that are committing crimes, so this is all okay. When majority of the people, certainly in the daytime, are just
this is all just peaceful. I mean, I don't see these people looting. I don't see these people inside, stealing, doing stuff. They're not causing harm to anybody. But let's watch the next one. Here we go. Hopefully, it doesn't take me away from watching it. Yeah, just kicking somebody over. Ran over this person.
Fucking.
This is proof. Let's go.
Like gang members, you know?
Just hit them. Coward.
Absolutely.
Whoa, what the hell?
Pull somebody out.
Okay, we'll watch another. I'm just grabbing
This is all sparked by the Floyd thing, and like it's like people just discovered that there's police brutality in the United States.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is ridiculous. And people need to recognize what's going on here and when it's time to open our eyes to what's happening. It's just they get you constantly looking laterally at each other with this whole race thing and everything, and people don't realize that who the police work for. Police do not work for you. They're not to serve and protect you. They're to protect those who own them.
You're not doing anything, you fucking bitch! What the fuck?
The heck? When is this? Just now?
Yeah, I think all the stuff is just from the past. Jeez, just punching people.
Fuck you, you fucking pig!
Look at this guy, just kicking people.
The heck, man? It's war zone.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Hey, relax it out, nigga.
This is an update. They're just having a normal conversation while at least 100 cops are just staring at them. Oh, they're moving forward. Oh, they moving forward. I'm going back inside. They're not moving. They're not moving. Oh, they got shot.
Yeah, those were rubber bullets, of course. Which still don't feel good. One more video here.
Coward.
Absolutely.
Don't touch me! Hands off!
Wow. These women more courageous than 10 of these guys. Or more.
Grabbing women by the hair, and it's just sickening. I mean, talk about peaceful. These people are on their knees. It's so peaceful.
Get down on your knee. Get down on your knee.
Nazis, man. So
Putting his stick into peaceful protesters. Officer, hey, 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 no, fuck you guys. Hey, no, I got it on camera. Y'all are starting it. Oh, shit. Yo, 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 yo. What the fuck? No, chill. Hey, everyone chill.
Jeez.
It's crazy, man.
Isn't it crazy? So, yeah, that's the kind of shit going on. And, you know, it gets hard because you're like, you know, how do you really talk about it other than these cops are scumbags? But I did find Larkin Rose. I don't know if you've seen this guy. Let me find him, bring him up. You've probably seen him do a couple other videos. Yeah, this one. You seen this guy before?
Yeah. That dude crushes.
Yeah, he's awesome, right? So he did a video called Another Angry White Guy on June 3rd. But I think he just says it really well. So I'll play this, and then we can kind of thank you very much, Trader Pro, for the super chat. And then we'll probably land the plane a little bit early today. But
and I leave you a very short video if you want to use that as a.
Oh, sure. What's this video?
Plane landing. No, it's a compilation of things that you show, but with music, no copyright, of course. And with at the beginning is Donald Trump talking about the storm that is coming. And you know, like a poetic ending of the show if you want to.
Nice. All right, well, let's watch this, and you guys can, you know, it's 8 minutes long, but I think, I don't know, there's just a lot in it that I think people need to hear. So let's have a listen, and then you guys can comment and see if you agree with what he's got to say. Here we go.
I am a white American gun owner, and I have something to say. As far as the part about being white, well, I'm not ashamed of that, but I'm also not proud of it because I had nothing to do with it. I was born that way and wasn't really consulted about it ahead of time. So I feel no pride and I feel no guilt in something that was just an accident of birth. As for being an American, well, that's because I was born here and haven't decided to leave. And I understand that I have a lot of advantages from being born here as compared to a lot of people born in other places. But I don't think that those other people are of less value or have fewer rights than I do just because they were born somewhere else. You see, I'm one of those crazy kooks who wants freedom and justice for everyone, everywhere. And the reason I'm a gun owner is because I understand that the day may come when I may be one of the people who has to create and defend freedom and justice for everyone. And by the way, law and order is not the same thing as justice. Law and order has been used as an excuse for authoritarian oppression throughout history. Freedom is justice. And I hate to break it to a bunch of my fellow white American gun owners, but referring to the United States as a free country at this point is kind of ridiculous. Are there worse places? Absolutely. But should our standard be that we will proudly put up with authoritarian garbage as long as it's worse somewhere else? No, that is stupid and cowardly. So you may be wondering, which side am I on regarding these protests or riots or police actions or whatever? Well, I already told you, I am on the side of freedom and justice. That means I am on the side of the innocent victim, always. And I am against the aggressors, always. That means that when badge-wearing thugs are harassing, intimidating, assaulting, and murdering nonviolent people, I am on the side of the victims, not the aggressors. It also means that when looters and vandals are stealing or destroying private property, I am still on the side of the victims, not the thugs and thieves. Right now, a lot of people seem to be arguing over which set of aggressors and thugs they should be cheering for, which is idiotic, and it's exactly what the ruling class wants to see. If you support the police when they do evil crap and then lie about it and try to cover for each other and try to get away with it, that doesn't make you a good person. Good people oppose that. And if you support looters and rioters whose misplaced anger gets taken out on anyone or anything that happens to be around them, harming innocent people in the process and destroying their property, that doesn't make you a good person. Good people oppose that. The political opportunists want you to pick sides between the cops and the looters instead of having enough principles to oppose both when they act as immoral thugs. And yes, government infiltrators and instigators keep getting caught trying to make peaceful protests into violent riots so they have an excuse to crack down on them. Please don't fall for that. If you have principles and apply them to all people in all situations, then such tricks and manipulations won't work on you. If you consistently oppose violent aggressors, those with badges and those without, and if you consistently defend innocent victims, then you are on my side and I am on your side. If, on the other hand, you put race or nationality or religion or politics above principles and justice, then you are part of the damn problem. If I see some white thug with a badge victimizing some nonviolent black person, I will intervene by force if necessary. And it's not about race, it's about justice. And if I see some black looter threatening some white store owner, I will intervene by force if necessary. And it won't be about race, it will be about justice. That is how all decent people of all colors should behave. It's a simple concept, but it's something that all of the political crooks want you to miss. They want us to be divided. They want us to distrust and hate each other. Because if we all understand that sticking to principles, being on the side of the victim and against the aggressor is the way to be, their power is gone. I don't give a damn where you were born or what color you are. I want freedom and justice for you. Right now, the government and a hell of a lot of cops are the enemy of freedom and justice. And that makes them my enemy. And of course, private thugs and thieves are also my enemy. That's how principles work. Keep your mind focused enough to remember who the real enemy is. You can't identify him by skin color or where he comes from or how he talks. You can identify him by his actions. If he commits or condones aggression against innocents, then he is the enemy of freedom and justice, whether his thuggery is called vandalism or law enforcement. If, on the other hand, he uses his words and actions to oppose such aggression, then he is an ally of freedom and justice. And that is true whether such defensive force is done by somebody with a badge or by somebody who gets called a criminal or an anarchist for illegally opposing legalized injustice. On that note, let me finish this up by saying that in addition to being a white armed American, I'm also an anarchist. And contrary to the BS that you'll hear in the mainstream media, no, that does not mean that I smash windows and throw Molotov cocktails around. It means that I think that you own yourself and that you do not need and should not have any ruler stealing the fruits of your labor or controlling your life. It means that I think that you and everyone else should be free from all thugs and thieves, including the ones that wear uniforms and call their thuggery and their thievery law. It means that I want a society with no masters and no slaves. If you want to know more about that, below I'll give a free link to a PDF on the topic, or if you want a more thorough understanding, you can get a copy of my book, The Most Dangerous Superstition. But whatever your political beliefs, whatever your nationality, race, religion, priorities, and preferences, I hope that you can see through the ridiculous BS that those in power and their puppets in the media are attempting here. And I hope that you don't fall for it. Hang on to your principles. Always take the side of freedom and justice in every situation. And remember who the real enemy is. I am a white...
Pretty much crushing.
Yeah, sums it up.
I mean, it's like such an easy, simple concept. It's like so easy. Just when you listen to it, you're like, wait a second. Yeah, it's that easy, you know, because they want us divided. And if you really just look at it, you say, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to stick to my principles. And you can identify whether these actions are wrong simply by looking at the actions. And if you realize that all those people that we saw getting kicked and hit with sticks that weren't doing shit, they are the afflicted. They are the ones that we need to stand behind. They are the victims. And as long as you're always on the side of the victims, believe me, the police are not the victims here. You know? Now, again, if their police station is being burned down, are they the victims? Well, maybe.
Well, they let it happen, right? We saw the last time.
Right. You know? So, but really, I mean, it just comes down to, I totally agree with what he had to say. Freedom and justice is it, sticking to your principles. I mean, because it's such an easy concept. But, I mean, a lot of people get caught into this whole, whose side am I on? Am I on the cop side? Or am I on the looters and the protester side? And that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime they craft a binary for you, the answer's not there. Right. You know, like we're against all the corrupt cops and we're for people peacefully assembling, right? Peaceful protest, but we don't want you destroying your own city because that's stupid. Like, why do we have to pick one or the other? It's such a clown world.
It's such a clown world. Ira, I'll play this video that you put in here. I got to find it now.
Yeah, it's a music video, and I just take out from one of my last videos, and you know, if you want to run, and ends with my Patreon's address.
All right.
As a self advertising.
Nice. Let me see if it's easier if I save it and then.
Okay.
Otherwise, let me see if I save it. Hello. Oh, I gotta save it from over here. I'll save it to my
It's nothing special, okay? It's just like a,
I was excited. I thought this was
things,
like a premiere and like. Oh, so excited.
It's a low quality because I need to send it via Skype, but I believe it's worth it and related with the topic.
Awesome, yeah. So let me get that set up and put it over here, and then we'll have that on. I don't know how long it'll take to. Oops. Sorry. Anybody else before we go? I mean, we're gonna watch that video and then say our goodbyes. But anybody have anything coming up? Austin, any debates coming up?
Supposedly there may be one tomorrow, but I haven't heard back about the whole maybe connection with internet and the Holocaust. And then no, not really. I'm kind of chilling. You know, I'm not just gonna like take every debate that someone asks me to be in because it's exhausting and pointless. If someone has like hundreds of thousands of subs, I may. But as of now, no. I'll just do a few videos here soon on my YouTube, and that's about it.
Nice. Iru, you have anything coming up you need to tell people about besides your Patreon that will be at the end of this video?
No, but you know, a little advice with Austin. Maybe you can debate with yourself if you don't have any opponent. You know, maybe. Nah, just bad joke. No, I gonna be.
Well, I could probably argue the globe.
Yeah,
better,
maybe you become a globalist again. But no, what I have as tomorrow, I'm gonna be live, streaming live from the protest core via a friend of mine because I cannot leave my city without a permission. And for getting that permission, you need to download an app from the government and sign that. Yeah.
Wow.
We are enclosed in our cities right now. At least you are like a primary. You have a primary job for the system, but if that is the case, you need to download the app and sign digitally and make your like a check your health via a questionnaire and things like that. So I'm not going to do that, but I have a friend in Buenos Aires, the capital city, that's going to be there in the protest. So he's going to give me a call via WhatsApp and or me via Hangout and trying to show that live on my YouTube channel. And I have a few things to do with SpaceX and other stuff. I have like 2 interviews in the last 2 days, big interviews, like 1 hour and a half with the Flutter topic. So I'm going to be uploading that in Spanish. And I'm start to translate it the English to the English, one of the production that I made of 10 chapters introducing the Flutter thing. So I'm going to upload it in my English channel, because remember, I delete YouTube channel, delete my English channel. So that's all about it.
Punk
What's
bitches.
the new one?
What's the name of it, Ira?
No, I don't have it.
Oh,
yet.
you haven't made it yet.
Yeah, I need to setting up all the stuff, related with opening a YouTube channel.
Call it Jeranism. Jeranism is king.
All right.
It's a big good name.
I'm gonna do it.
I'll promote it.
I'm gonna do it.
All right, here's this video by Iru, and then we'll come back and just say adios before we head out for the day, and people can enjoy their Friday. Let's watch. Oh, don't forget to watch that Globebusters video or Spacebusters video premiering on Globebusters right after this. But here we go. Oops, we need sound.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm?
We have the world's great military people in this room, I will tell you that. And we're going to have a great evening. Thank you all for coming.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
fuera realmente una revolución del pueblo, ¿por qué el
If
pueblo
it
está
was a
siendo
real
inducido
revolution
a
of the
hacer nada
people,
más que
why they are
disfrutar
suggest
del
that we
espectáculo
relax
y
and
confiar
enjoy
en su
the
plan?
show? That is what
Si
it said
estamos
in Spanish and
realmente
continue
despiertos e
in English.
iluminados, entonces necesitamos cuestionarnos todo.
The great religious leaders here tonight give us all an example that we can follow.
This is an historic moment.
We're living in a time and age that we never thought possible before.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations.
The vicious barbarism we'd read about in history books, but never thought we'd see it in our so-called modern-day world.
A new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle.
Who would have thought we would be witnessing what we're witnessing today?
When we are successful, and we will be,
We've got to be very strong,
we have a real chance at this new world order.
very, very smart.
An order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
And we've got to come together, not only as a nation, but as a world community. We've got to be very strong, very, very smart, and we've got to come together, not only as a nation, but as a world community.
And that's all.
Boom. I was waiting for that to come up here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the help.
You're welcome. So if people want to support you, that was awesome, by the way, Eero. Great
Thank you, man.
job. And I thought the quality was good. But
yeah, it's very low quality, but you know,
it's good enough.
If you don't pay attention to the block in the cheap compression, it's everything's fine.
So people can support Eero. Please do patreon.com/nueropodatodos, and of course subscribe to his Spanish channel if you want. It's nice to have him as a sub, except for you get alerts when he's on. You're like, yes, Eero, and then you remember he's speaking Spanish, and then you're like, God damn it, why did I ever?
But
No.
I'm gonna keep working on the English thing
Okay, good.
because now is my 4th channel that I'm going to open.
They don't
so
like
I'm gonna
you in
keep doing
English.
it.
Yeah, keep doing
Come
it.
on.
They don't like you in English for some reason. Also, you can.
I understand that part.
Yeah, you can also support Austin through Patreon, which is patreon.com/witsitgetsit, and you can also support Rodrigo at patreon.com/anthropology, and myself as well, if you would be so kind. And if not, hey, it's tough times. We get it. We just do the best we can, and your support helps. Patreon.com/jeranism. I'm going to land the plane a little bit early today, guys. Any comments, anything you need to say before we get out? That was good.
Stop the new world order. At least try it, you know.
Yeah, stop it. All right, so what's coming up? We have Glowbusters on Sunday. I don't know what's going on tomorrow off the top of my head. But and then, like we said, we should have Alex Stein on Monday Raw. So lots of things coming up. Keep your eyes and ears open, as always. Wild times, though, in a clown world. If you want to mail me something, you can do so. P.O. Box 3044, Merced, California, 95344. Just remember to fight for freedom and justice, and always be on the side of the victims. It's probably the easiest way to look at it. It's a simple concept. Those above you, the ruling class, they want you divided. They want you looking laterally and never vertically. So that's what we need to remember, is that we're being ruled by somebody. We are slaves, whether we admit it to ourselves or not. And, it's a crazy time in the world. Now may be the time for change. We'll see. Any final words before we go, guys? All right. I guess that's it. Thank you, everybody, for the Super Chats. I remind you to do your own research, because when you do, you'll never again believe what you've been taught. Till next time, this has been Jeranism Friday Lounge number 29. Peace.